Hello and welcome to the Antioch MFA graduation ceremony. We're so glad you're here. My name is Lisa Lacascio-Nighthawk, and I'm the chair of the Antioch MFA program, and it's my pleasure to welcome our Los Angeles Provost, Mark Hauer, to the podium.
Welcome, everyone. Getting myself straightened out here. Before we begin any important event at Antioch at Los Angeles, it's really important that we also acknowledge a story that's outside but also part of this story. So I'd like to read a land acknowledgement, and I'll do that right now. Antioch University, Los Angeles resides on Tongva Gar, the traditional and unceded territory of the Tongva people. These lands and the Tongva people continue to carry the stories of this nation and the people's struggle for survival and identity. We are committed to learning these stories and identifying ways to join in decolonial and indigenous movements for sovereignty and self-determination. Thank you. Again, it's important for us to realize there's an ongoing, longer story, bigger story than us, and we're part of it. Having said that, I want to welcome everyone to the graduation ceremony today. It's very exciting to see you here. MFA Creative Writing commencement ceremonies are always fantastic, and let's begin. First, graduate family members, partners, and friends. I want to thank you for joining this ceremony today. Commencement marks the transition of students from candidates to full-fledged graduates. I think I'm going to put on my glasses so I can actually see better. It's very useful when I'm reading. Graduates, a special welcome to you and congratulations. You've realized your goals through hard work and sacrifice. I'm delighted to acknowledge your achievements and soon to welcome you into the community of Antioch alumni. Soon. Congratulations to each of you. Now, of course, your success rests on the support of others, and let's take a moment to acknowledge those who have helped each of you arrive at this day. Family and friends, your support, love, and assistance has been critical. In a real way, you have been part of the student educational journey, and you are thus also part of a valued element of the Antioch community. MFA faculty, of course, as you know, have been a big part of the student experience. You've guided the learning of the students every step, developed the curriculum, shared expertise and knowledge, served as mentors, and encouraged them to do and be their very best. Staff and MFA staff and Antioch staff. I want to emphasize the significance of this day for MFA staff, but also for all of us who work at Antioch. This is the reminder to us, this is a celebration of why we do the work we do. It really is a celebration for us too, not just you students, though you're front and center. Commencement for us is very visible, and it reminds us you matter and so do we to Antioch. Special thank you to Natalie and Daisy, of course, who have provided essential support to each of you. Thank you both, Natalie and Daisy, for all you do, much of it behind the scenes on behalf of students and faculty. All right, now I've finished this section. I want to introduce Lisa again, Lisa Lacascio-Nighthawk, who really has been doing astounding work in the last few years, making this an incredible program. Okay, Lisa, please come on.
Thank you, Mark. Welcome, everyone. It is so special to be here with you today, and as I look out and I see the faces of our graduating class, I see everyone who helped you get to this point, and I know that many of those people are in this room today. The MFA program is first and foremost a community. Our motto is community, not competition, and we live those values by recognizing all of the efforts that contribute to the success of each of our students and all of our faculty and our program as a whole. So I just want to take a minute to acknowledge all of the caregivers and all of the care work that brought us to this place. We are very good or at least we try to be very good at thanking our wonderful faculty and our fantastic staff. But we all know that there's lots more people, the people who helped set up this beautiful ceremony today, the people who clean this building, the people who make the food that we enjoy. I always personally want to say out loud that I wouldn't be able to be here if not for my partner who's taking care of our child right now, and also my child's teachers at his school who take care of him during the week so that I can work. So I encourage everyone to just think for a minute about all the people who helped you get here, and we can all have a moment of acknowledgement of their hard work on our behalf. It's my pleasure to introduce our graduating student speaker for today's graduation, Mary Ellis Theron. Mary Ellis is a Bay Area native, a former lawyer, and a lover of Star Wars and Virginia Woolf. After parting ways with law practice, she relocated to Italy, which is just a great, really like the first half of that sentence, where she now spends her days teaching the present perfect tense and writing about worlds that are a little better and a little worse than our own. During her time here at Antioch, she completed a novel and stories that she hopes one day to hold in her hands. Please welcome Mary Ellis.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank you all for being here today. Many insightful, stunning, gasp-worthy things have already been said about art by people far wiser than I am, so I'm not going to try and do that today. Instead, I'm going to talk about something that is mundane but true, at least something I've found to be true. Being an artist is hard. We doubt ourselves. We spend far too much time alone. We throttle ourselves for not being original enough, consistent enough, prolific enough. We're embarrassed to talk about our art. We feel judged. We feel frivolous. We either don't have enough time or enough money or both. We are fragile and misunderstood and cranky, haunted by the possibility that we are nothing, that everyone would be better off if we simply packed it in and went into finance. Given all that, it's no surprise that no artist can do it alone. All of us graduating today are here because of other people. The friends who read our terrible early drafts and found something kind to say about the mess. The partners who told us, no, they didn't think we were crazy for secretly wanting to write a screenplay. The parents and siblings and cousins who cheer for us and share our work with everyone they know. And our teachers. The faculty mentor who reached deep into the muck of our stories, past our blundering words, and pulled out their beating hearts, who asked us, is this what you're really trying to say? Without all of you, none of us would have made it to this point. We are grateful, we are humbled, and we are in awe of your patience and generosity. We, the Hydrangea cohort, will walk out of this building today with a master's in fine arts. This is a thing to be proud of, a thing we worked hard for. But we are also going to walk out of here with all those same doubts and fears that we walked in with. And so, to my classmates, I say this. When the doubts creep up on you, which they will, remember your community, the people who got you here and the people who are sitting beside you now. Reach out to them, and they will remind you what you already know, but sometimes forget, that art can do many things. It can be a comfort or an escape. It can provide a new way of seeing. It can allow us to find ourselves in the stories of others. Because people need stories as much as we need water and sunlight and love. The world, right now, is dying for new stories, better stories, stories that illuminate and challenge and dare us to be more than we thought we could be. We are storytellers, and our work is vital. Never forget that. And when you do forget, and the doubts close in, don't face them alone. Send your friend a poem, a chapter, a scene, or just send them the melting face emoji. They'll know what it means. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary Alice. It's to go so deeply into doubt. I feel like doubt is my middle name, so it's like I love hearing about that. So my name's Alistair McCartney. I'm teaching faculty, and just quickly before I begin, I just want to also acknowledge all our amazing faculty here tonight, our mentors, who without this program wouldn't be possible. So let's give a round of applause to them. It is an honor to introduce our commencement guest speaker, Reina Grande. Antioch MFA alumna, Reina Grande, fiction faculty, is the author of the best-selling memoirs, The Distance Between Us, and A Dream Called Home, in which she writes about her life before and after she arrived in the United States from Mexico as an undocumented child immigrant. Her other works include the novels Across 100 Mountains, Dancing with Butterflies, and A Ballad of Love and Glory, a novel set during the Mexican-American War. She is the co-editor of an anthology by and about undocumented Americans called Somewhere We Are Human, Authentic Voices on Migration, Survival, and New Beginnings. Her books have been adopted as the common read selection by schools, colleges, and cities across the country. Reina has received an American Book Award, the Premio Aslan Literary Award, and the International Latino Book Award. She was a finalist for the prestigious National Book Critics Circle Awards. She was honored with a Luis Leal Award for distinction in Chicano Latino literature, a Latino Spirit Award, and a Writers for Writers Award from Poets and Writers. The Young Readers version of The Distance Between Us received an International Literacy Association Children's Book Award. Writing about immigration, family separation, language trauma, the price of the American dream, and her writing journey, Reina's work has appeared in the New York Times, Dallas Morning News, on CNN, The Washington Post, BuzzFeed, and elsewhere. In March 2020, she was a guest on Oprah's Book Club TV special, which I did not know about, and I need to really watch that. I want to see you on Oprah. Reina is currently at work on a collection of personal essays, and just very briefly, Reina and I were chatting over dinner last night, and she's been on the road. She was just in Guadalajara at the book festival where like over 900,000 people attend. Before that, she was in Dublin reading at Trinity College. So she is in many places, and so we're just so lucky to have her here at Antioch and also speaking to us tonight. Please give a warm welcome to Reina Grande.
Thank you so much, Alistair. Distinguished faculty, Provost Howard, guests, families, and above all, the remarkable graduates of the Hydrangea cohort. Congratulations on this wonderful achievement. Shout out to my mentee, Mary Alice, and EJ, Adriana, and Jessica, who I was lucky enough to have in my workshop this residency. It's been such an honor and a privilege to be part of your writer's journey. I'm honored to share this special day with you all. Today is about claiming your story, about taking control of the blank pages stretching out before you. Just like the characters that you brought to life in your writing, you stand at a crossroads. You've reached the end of one quest, and now you must choose what happens next. Endings and beginnings can be both scary and exciting, filled with possibility. And speaking of choices, yesterday I gave a talk about the choices our characters make, the decisions that propel them forward, that reveal their true nature and lead to their growth. But it isn't just your characters who are making choices. You are making choices as well. You made the choice to get your MFA, to come to Antioch, to stay, to get to the finish line, despite all the obstacles and sacrifices. And now, as you pursue your writing careers, you'll face even more choices. What agents to pitch? What publishers to pursue? What to say yes to in a book deal? What to say no to? Do you skip your friend's wedding to meet your deadline? Do you take your kids to daycare so that you can write? You might even face pressure to compromise your vision, to make your writing more relatable to all, easier to sell, to follow a trend. Do you stick to your vision or do you give in? These are not easy choices. They are the trials of your hero's journey. But remember this, your voice matters. Your vision matters. Just as you wouldn't let anyone dictate the ending of your stories, don't let anyone dictate the course of your career. I know about the sacrifices that you've made to be here. I know the cost, not just financially, but the late nights, the doubts, the sheer determination it took to arrive at this moment. I know this because I once sat where you sit now. As you've heard, I am also an Antioch graduate. Very proud to be part of the Oriole cohort from winter of 2008. And I came to Antioch because I was struggling with my second novel, which in my opinion is the hardest one to write. And if you don't believe me, Google the second novel syndrome. Here at Antioch, I continued to hone my skills, found community, and met mentors who guided me. Like you, I learned self-reliance, advocacy, and resourcefulness. I learned to take responsibility for my narrative, to embrace my voice, and to value the stories I had to tell. When I graduated from Antioch, I had not only finished my second novel, but it was on its way to publication. I first turned to writing to find solace, to cope with my traumatic immigrant experiences. At 13, I began to keep a journal and to write stories to try to unload the toxic stress and anxiety wreaking havoc on my body. Writing was my therapy. It helped me to transform my pain into art. But although writing was my favorite form of self-expression, as a young girl, I never considered pursuing a career in the literary arts because I didn't think someone like me could aspire to be a professional writer. The barriers the publishing industry puts up for writers of color can be difficult to cross. The numbers are discouraging. The publishing business is over 75% white and less than 8% Latino, less than 6% Black, less than 5% Asian, less than 1% Native American. And those numbers aren't only for the publishing business, but all across the board. When less than 6% of lawyers are Latino, when only 7% of physicians are Latino, when less than 5% of actors in leading or co-leading roles are Latino, how could I not internalize the belief that my stories didn't matter? How couldn't I be intimidated to pursue a career in a field where I would experience discrimination and unnecessary obstacles? To pursue a career in fields where the gatekeepers don't look like us is daunting and discouraging. But with the help of teachers and family and friends, that is what I set out to do. And how will we change the numbers if we don't take up space? As an immigrant, I am a border crosser, and that is my superpower. My resilience and tenacity helped me overcome the barriers of the publishing industry, and today I am proud to be a professional storyteller. This summer, I celebrated my 18th year since I published my first book, and 15 years since I published my second novel that I finished here at Antioch. I am dedicated to writing about my immigrant and Latino communities. It's my mission to fight for greater representation and visibility, ensuring that our voices are heard. But writing isn't just for healing. It isn't just for entertainment. Writing can be an act of activism. And through the years, I have learned to use stories to push for social change and social justice. I have learned to knock down barriers with my pen. My parents dreamed of a better life and were willing to risk their lives and their children's lives to obtain it. Their story was one of extreme sacrifice, abandonment, and unresolved trauma. But my story, I got to make it different. My story was books and libraries, college, and a career where words became my weapon for breaking down the barriers to the American dream. You are all storytellers, but here's the thing. You are not just writing the stories of your characters. You are writing your own. You get to be the author of your life. Not your parents or spouses, not your teachers, not the voices on social media, but you. Think of your life as a narrative. What genre are you writing? A comedy? A thriller? A drama? Perhaps like me, you're writing a fairy tale, a story of overcoming obstacles and achieving your dreams, of writing your truth. You see, the greatest power we possess is the power of our own truth. It's not the truth the world often tries to hand us, a set of rules about who you should be, what success looks like, or what stories are worth telling. Your truth is something deeper. Writing your truth means having the courage to put your authentic self out there, to not be afraid to take up space in the world as the unique, complex, and ever-evolving individual that you are. Sometimes writing your truth means taking brave leaps of faith, choosing the unconventional pathway, speaking out when it would be easier to stay silent. It means filling your pages with the things that genuinely set your soul on fire, not simply chasing whatever looks good on the outside, whatever will land you that book or movie deal. This won't be easy. There will be voices in your head that will try to discourage you. Don't listen to them. There might be days when doubts creep in, whispering that your life or your writing isn't as interesting or important as others, or that you don't belong, or that you don't have what it takes. Don't listen to them. Take a deep breath, go out, find inspiration, do some self-care. The most important thing to remember is this: your story matters, your truth matters. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Every story is unique. Yours has value. One of the things that you learn from your mentors or the seminars here at Antioch is the hero's journey. It is a story template from which many great stories have been created. Think Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, Frodo in Lord of the Rings, Katniss in the Hunger Games. Whether you realize it or not, you are about to set out on your own hero's journey. Let me recap the three main stages of the hero's journey. 1, the departure. The hero leaves home to embark on a journey of self-discovery. Today you are leaving Antioch, which has been home to you for a few years. This is the stage you are in, the departure stage, the beginning of your new journey. It is a scary stage, which is why heroes often refuse the call at first. It is frightening to leave your comfort zone, to leave everything and everyone you know. The second stage of the hero's journey is the initiation period, or the road of trials. The hero will face many challenges during their journey, confront villains, obstacles, and setbacks that test their courage. The hero must put to use everything they have learned to overcome those barriers. And this is what the next few years will be like for most of you, as you dedicate yourselves to completing your projects, pursuing publication, launching your writing careers, or maintaining one. You must put everything you learn at Antioch to good use here. Your resilience, your work ethic, your perseverance will propel you to the next stage. You will gain insight and wisdom and discover your true purpose and achieve your goals. 3, the final stage of the hero's journey is the return. The hero returns home back to the normal world and has undergone a personal metamorphosis. They have transformed into a better, stronger person. What this means, the return, is that it is time to give back to your family and your community. Whether you physically return home doesn't matter. To return means that you don't forget where you come from. To return means that you don't forget about those you left behind. To return means that you use what you have learned here at Antioch to fight for justice, to break down barriers, to change the world. And to change the world is a daunting task, but not impossible. One of my favorite writers, James Baldwin, said, "We write in order to change the world. If we alter, even by a millimeter, the way people look at reality, then we can change it." And that is what I am asking of you today, hydrangeas, that you focus on that 1 millimeter of change through your stories. Write your truth in the way you move through the world, in the relationships you build, in the art you create. Your story is unique, it's necessary, and it has the capacity to change the world and break down the barriers that keep our communities apart. So whatever trials you encounter in your hero's journey, whatever choices you are faced with, never stop writing, because the world needs to hear what you have to say, especially in these uncertain times. We need your art, so always choose your writing and create, and create. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Well, I think that's the definition of a rough act to follow. It says, short speech by Lisa Lacascio Nighthawk. I will make it truly short. I had dinner with one of our guests this week, Claire Dieterer, who taught a really wonderful seminar. And Claire is someone that I had the idea to bring to Antioch because I saw her accept an award at the LA Times Book Prizes in April, and I really liked her acceptance speech. And then I read all of her work, and was like, oh yeah, well, I hope she'll come. And we were talking about how hard it is to actually absorb praise, and how any nice thing anyone says to you, no matter how big or small, immediately gets swept away by the next even like vaguely negative thing anyone says to you, or happens to you or you experience. And she said that her partner had started instituting, he would insist that whenever she received a compliment or an accolade or an award, he would make her go lie in bed and wallow in it. And that is what I really want to tell all of you to do with this accomplishment. Don't rush out of this moment. Raina has said much more beautifully than I can what comes next. And we all know that just like everything that came before, there will be ups and downs, and good days and bad days. And I know that all of us face the future with a fair amount of trepidation right now, particularly. But the future is coming. We can't do anything to stop it. What you have control over is your experience of this moment right now, in the next few days or months or years. I hope that you can anchor yourself in the pleasure and the accomplishment of this moment. And sometimes that is a practice more than it is automatic. And I want you to remember this day and this time and the feeling of accomplishment that all of you should be feeling. And if you're not feeling it, start feeling it right now. And make that a wealth within yourself, an account that you can draw on. Don't forget that you have that. And it's inexhaustible because it comes from you, and you did it. And all we did was help you, and we all did it together. Yeah. So I think it's time for the presentation of the candidates. So I'll welcome Alistair back up here and Mark as well.
Oh, sure. I have the honor to present and recommend the following candidates for the MFA in Creative Writing Master's degree. Will the candidates for the Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing please line up one row at a time to receive their diplomas. Graduates, please come forward as directed by the faculty marshal as your name is called. Kevin Batt. Jessica Ballin.
Back up, right there. Right here. Don't blink. You're good. All right. You're good.
Jessica Ballin. Rayma Boston. Jessica Lynn Chisholm. Gina Ray Duran. Elizabeth Glynn. Katie Jo McCoy. Karen McDonald. Keisha Nash Johnson. Stephanie Webb Paredes. Adriana Sanchez Lopez. Mary Ellis Farron. And Paula Williamson. We are a hybrid program, so students attend in person and online. So we also want to acknowledge the names of the graduates who are not here with us in person today. So we're going to read those names just to honor them. Reed Delahanty, Laurie Duncan, Alison Ferris, Sunny Lynn Foley, Tina Foster, Alexis Angelica Garcia, Ali Griffith, Aaron James, Jolene Loveday, Megan McGuire, Caroline Rood, Taylor Cash Rose, and EJ Saunders. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing please rise? Provost Mark Hauer, on behalf of the faculty, I present to you for appropriate recognition the candidates for the degree of Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing.
MFA candidates, upon the recommendation of the MFA faculty at Antioch University, Los Angeles, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of Antioch University, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Masters of Fine Arts with all of the rights, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. You may now move your tassels from the right side of your border board to the left side. Now, isn't it amazing how different that feels? Congratulations. Okay, you may be seated. So in many ways, the ceremony is most conclusive at this point, but there's a small thing that we do with Antioch. There's a tradition that I observe and we've tended to observe on all graduation ceremonies. It's called a charge to the candidates. And in some ways, all of the speeches are some version of that as well. You've done a fantastic job, speakers. I just love hearing the brilliance and the wisdom that comes from an MFA program. So I've had the privilege mostly from the periphery to witness your journey from your first cohort days to this day, to graduation. And the vision that Lisa and the MFA team have made possible through the program's design and their tireless and discerning work with each of you is abundantly manifest in the quality of what you've produced individually and the quality of your learning community. You've shown resilience and determination in extraordinary times, and I've marveled at the commitment you've each demonstrated repeatedly to challenge yourselves to do your best work, and perhaps most remarkably, to actively engage in collaborative dialogue and inquiry, to thoughtfully and compassionately support your colleagues in realizing their best, most authentic work. The challenges of our world are big and pressing, and perhaps more than ever, writing that deepens our understanding of the human condition and the place we all have in a larger story is critical. This calls for gifted writers, but also skills and sensibilities that pull us together and call us to our better selves, even when, especially when, what we see and experience in the world is discouraging and demoralizing. I encourage you, I implore you to maintain and deepen the connections and relationships that you have nourished through this program. That hero's journey is going to be hard. It's easier or better or just worth sticking together as best you can. You will be better for having a supportive alumni community as you go forward, and through the power and inspiration of your voices and new stories, the world would be better and healed in turn. I wish you great success in the exciting and fulfilling journey ahead. Bless you and congratulations.
It's me again. Please stand for the recessional and join us for a reception for graduates and their guests immediately following the ceremony. The reception is the courtyard right outside the front doors of the lobby, and the platform party and the MFA faculty will lead the recession, followed by the graduates.